Hey everyone, Gaming Dad's here. I wanted to share some new things that I learned about Kraken Clash recently. First off, we're going to talk about the multiplier, although I am done right now. Um, Bottom left hand corner where you see ×1 damage and stars, that goes from ×1 to ×3 to ×5. Talked about that in the past. There's a new option there, ×10. So this week we decided to try using that. I've used all the options and I can tell you what I've learned. So for ×10, it's definitely going to get you a higher score, but at a cost. And that cost would be best illustrated by showing you the following screenshot. Let me just pause this. So this represents a score I got with 10x. What I learned from this is that there is a max on the Kraken battles, and it is this 2.147 billion in damage that you see right here. So there's no point in going 10x unless you have a really lousy map and you know that in advance, which I don't see how you can. So 10x, I would not recommend using that because you're probably going to get or exceed this, but be capped, and it would be a waste of tickets, the Kraken tickets. So the 3 and the 5, here's what I would recommend. So if you've got skip its and you can use all your tickets, probably just stick with the 1 and just grind it out. 3 is a pretty good spot, so I'd say 3x is okay. And then 5 is probably a maybe, because you'll probably hit some scenarios where you are going to max and waste some tickets. The reason I say that is because I've been able to get in the realm of, say, 1.6, 1.7 billion without the ticket multipliers. So 3 makes it easier to get there, a little bit faster, helps you conserve skip-its. 5, you're probably going to run into some scenarios where you will waste the Kraken tickets, and 10x for sure, you're going to waste them. So I would say those are the takeaways there. 1's good if you got the skip-its. 3 is okay, helps you save skip-its. 5, you're probably going to waste some Kraken tickets, but you'll definitely save more on skip-its. And then 10, you're wasting Kraken tickets, in my opinion. And then you'll definitely save skip-its, but it's going to hurt you overall for a larger Spark take in the Kraken event. So back here, those are the lessons that we learned this week. I don't have any new boss fights to show you, but I can tell you that I'm getting the best results from the following loadout. From Big Bertha, and then Alien. I've tried Raccoon, which I have maxed currently, but it does depend on the map and if the gates are close together or not. So overall, I'd say Alien is probably a better bet. And then Sirion, and then Rainbow Rage. I get the best results, the best scores by doing that. And incidentally, the screenshot I showed you earlier, that is a loadout that I used for that score. So I would recommend trying that if you're looking to get your max points. For your boosts, I would say it's going to depend on the map. Fast charge is probably a must. 10x is going to be very helpful depending on the map. If you've got a lot of gates, I wouldn't use 10x. I would instead use the double cannon and just stick with those 2 boosts. Now, as you learn more and more about the maps, you'll find that you get better and better at them, and you'll know which ones that you can do better on. For example, the Mario Pipe. I'd say that one is a pretty good one that you can get a high score on, in which case you'd want to use 10x, and then the fast charge, and then maybe the double cannon. If you've got the skip-its, you can always go all 4, but if you're trying to conserve, as a rule, I'd say 10x and fast charge are really the best boosts to do while kind of minimizing your skip-it burn. If you've got a bunch of gates, replace the 10x with the double cannon, and then you're off to the races. So that's what we learned this week. Probably have some more to show you in the future, but so far, so good with Kraken. Learn a little bit every week. In the meantime, though, it's been another victory for Gaming Dads. Gaming Dads out.